Hello, and welcome to Going for Broadway. I'm Erin Wu, and each week I chat with playwrights, directors, actors, talent agents, and many others who live their lives in, on, and around the stage. I'm sharing their secrets so you, too, can join me on this journey towards Broadway. The sun'll come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Excuse me. I do believe that the forecast said that it was going to be cloudy tomorrow. So, take that, Annie. Oh.
Welcome to the Going for Broadway podcast with Erin Wu. Erin is a young performer who has acted and sung in many plays and has dreams of reaching Broadway. Each day is another step closer to that goal.
Hey everyone, welcome to Going for Broadway. I have a very special guest here today, Brian Coker. He is well known in the upstate South Carolina, all around the community theaters, and as long as I've been acting, I have known Brian. He was in my very first play with me, Frosty the Snowman. He says he's been acting since he was a teenager, which he says is a very long time, and I believe him. He's employed full-time, but his first love has always been in the theater, and has done shows at Flat Rock Playhouse, Greenville Little Theater, South Carolina Children's Theater, Foothills Playhouse, Warehouse Theater, Center Stage, and Cafe and Then Some. He loves to make people laugh, especially kids. So, Brian, thank you for being here today.
Well, thank you for thinking of me and asking me to do this.
What started your interest in acting?
Well, when I was a kid, I watched a lot of TV. Loved to watch TV. And there was a show called The Carol Burnett Show. There was a little guy on there named Tim Conway, and I just thought he was the funniest guy in the world. And the way that he would make his co-stars laugh, he would do stuff just off the cuff, and it would just make them start laughing. And I just really enjoyed that. I really loved that. And so I think that just kind of piqued an interest in me to want to do the same thing,
So you've been acting since you were a teenager, so you've always seen yourself doing that?
Yeah, pretty much. It's always been like a dream to do that, but you can perform anywhere, just because you may not be on stage, but I think there's a desire and a burning fever, if you will, inside people to do this thing. It's like you can't help it. You just have to. It just comes out of you naturally. It just flows out of you like a river, So I guess, for once since I was a teenager, which is a really long time ago.
Yeah, so did you study anywhere, or?
Well, when I was in the 8th grade, a long time ago, I had a course teacher that wanted me to take, I think it was like a week-long class at the Fine Arts Center in Greenville, South Carolina.
Yes.
To study acting. And so I went there for the summer for a week and studied the acting, and I don't remember a lot about it, but I do remember one lady told me, she said, a comedian never laughs at his own jokes. And I thought, okay, I will try to remember that. Not that it's really done any good, because, anyway. It was fun, and it was an experience, but I think a lot of the learning is just through life, and I've learned more in the past 20 years doing theater than I think I ever would have sitting in the classroom.
So you think that it's more of like an experience thing? Yeah,
more of an experience, but not that, I'm not saying don't study and don't go to school, because I wish I would have.
Yeah. So, one of the things that just amazes me the most is your sense of humor. I mean, like you said that you love making people laugh, especially kids. And, I've been in shows with you, Wizard of Oz, Christmas Story, where you just make these small comments here and there, and it's just hilarious. Like, is that like improv training, or what is that?
It's weird. It's like something just pops in my head, and I don't have much of a filter, and it just kind of comes out. So I don't know if it's something that's taught or something that's just natural. I really can't say. Like I say, my classroom growing up was watching the TV and learning from folks like Steve Martin and Robin Williams and Eddie Murphy and, Tim Conway and Don Knotts and those kind of things. Plus, my dad, they said he had a really great sense of humor too. So, I don't know if it's something you learn or something that's just natural. I think for me, it's just there.
That's cool. That's good. So do you think it can be taught? Like, I know it comes natural for you, and yes, you can learn it, but is it something that just straight out?
I think I think you can be taught. I think a lot of the really good actors, they have experiences. They experience life. They get out of their comfort zone. They, go out of their house and go into the world, and they see things and they do things. And from those experiences, they glean from those experiences, and they use that for their craft, if you will.
Yes.
So I think it can be taught. I think it can be, but I think unless you have a natural ability right from the get-go, you have people that can be funny. Then you got people that just are funny.
And that's you.
So, oh well, funny looking. I'm funny looking.
You also do very many character voices. Do you mind demoing some for us?
Oh gosh, on the spot here. I don't know what you could say some of the character voices that I like to use. And of course, sometimes I do like to do this kind of goofy thing, like this right chair. I don't know. Growing up, I was, like I say, and I hate to keep, I don't want to tell people just sit in the house and watch TV all day, but growing up, I did watch a lot of TV. It was kind of my escape. And I just kind of mimicked what was on there. I watched a lot of cartoons, Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse, that kind of stuff. And I just tried to imitate them, and door show, like you, the next thing you know, and I was trying to copy Goofy or whatever, and just mimicking, I guess.
Yes.
I guess that's where it comes from.
Yes.
And then, of course, the voice is inside my head.
Oh. So mimicking TV and talking to yourself all the time.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, and of course, not just TV, but, everyday people.
Yeah.
I used to imitate. I had a teacher in the ninth grade that she was kind of rough and gruff, and, she had 3 rules in the classroom. Come in, sit down, shut up. And that was, so I like to imitate her a lot, behind her back, of course.
Oh. So you have been acting for a long time. And
Yes.
And I'm sure you continue and learn and grow in the craft.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, what comes with that? New voices, jokes?
All of it. New voices, new jokes. I have been very fortunate to have worked with some very, very talented people. I've worked with people who have gone on to do great things and wonderful things. They're doing things on TV and movies now. And I worked with people that have been on Broadway and not just those folks, but just regular folks, local talent around here. We're so blessed to have so much talent around
Yes,
here.
we are.
And I learn from them and I grow from them, and just watching them and saying, okay, they did that this way, or they have this attitude toward it, and there are a lot of new people coming in to the theater. You do theater long enough, you see people come and go.
Right.
There's always we call it the new batch of talent, the new batch of kids. And every time there's a new batch of kids, there's somebody new to learn from. Just from what I saw recently, the show last night that you're in now.
Yes,
I have I'm a fan of some new people. There's some people I haven't seen before, or I have seen before, but I haven't seen them really shine or, step up in the spotlight. And it's like, wow. So, yeah, always learning, always growing.
So since you have been doing it for a long time, are there things that have become routine as an actor that always stick with you?
Yeah, I think, I don't know if this is exactly what you're talking about, but I have certain rituals that I do. Like before I go on the stage, I always jump up and down and I always look at somebody and say, what's my line? I don't know. It's like a good luck thing for me. But as far as routine, I don't know. I guess just try not to be nervous and try to be natural and try to be real and try to make the people believe. Because there's some roles that you do where you are an actual character and you want to assume that role and you want people to believe you. And then there are other times when I'm just me being goofy, and then it's kind of like I like to break the fourth wall.
Mm-hmm.
When I do stuff at the children's theater, and they allow me to do this, I like to improv some. And I always like to throw something out there that's maybe current or relevant, just to make sure the parents are staying awake with their kids, Make sure the parents are staying attention. So the parents have a good time. It's not just something where they say, I'm going to carry my kid to this and, I'm going to take a nap. No, I want you to be involved too, and I want you to be entertained too. So I guess, routine, I guess that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I do notice your whole what's my line thing, and I think I have freaked out over that. I'm like, Brian, you don't know your lines? And now that you mention it, I do notice that you do that all the time.
It's, I don't know what it is. It's like a good luck thing. I guess it's a break the nervousness.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it does freak other people out, and that's kind of fun.
Yeah, it makes people laugh. Yeah. And so what are you currently in or preparing for?
Well, currently I am in Into the Woods at the Foothills Playhouse in Easley. I play the narrator / mysterious man. That's going to be fun. I'm not really a singer kind of guy, musical kind of guy, so that's why I like this kind of role, because there's a couple of songs that I sing, quote unquote sing, but for the most part it's just telling the story and being the narrator and driving the story. So yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, how's that quote unquote singing coming for you?
I do what I can. If people didn't want me to stay on pitch and on key, I'd be fine. But for some reason, they want me to, follow the piano. Why can't the piano follow me? That's all I'm saying.
Right. I mean,
you
are the
play
narrator.
what I'm singing? But anyway, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But it's coming along all right, That's one of those things where you're learning to grow. I mean, even the singing, I think I sing better now than I did 20 years ago, which, isn't saying a whole lot. But still.
Good.
Thanks to the great teachers.
Yes. So you said you've done a few TV commercials.
Yeah. I had an agent in town, so I got lucky. Went on a couple of auditions and got them. And then sometimes there was a local production company where they said, we want to use that guy. And they used me, and I did a commercial, and they liked it. And so when it came time for them to do another commercial, they said, we want to use that guy, Brian. We want to use him again. So it wasn't like I didn't have to go on audition. They just picked me. And so that was kind of cool. That's always a plus. But as far as doing commercial stuff, a lot of auditions.
So you got it through your agent. Do you just send in a resume and headshot, or how does that whole audition process work?
Well, with this particular agency, they have my headshot and resume. And what they get is they get a request from a client to say, we're going to be shooting this commercial. We want this type of person. And they have a list of folks that match that. Like they need, an everyday Joe. That's me. Matter of fact, George, my agent, he told me one time, he said, they requested somebody that is not model good looking. So he immediately thought of me. And thank you very much. But and then what they do is they send out the resume and the shot, and the people say, well, we want to see this person, this person, this person, this person. And then you show up, you do the audition, and then you go home and you just forget about it and wait on the phone call if you get one. But don't let it stress you out because, lots of auditions and lots of folks.
Right. So TV commercials and radio ads.
Yeah. Those actually, a couple of those were just through a friend of mine who was involved with radio stuff. And he said, hey, can you do this type of voice? And I said, well, I can try. And so he said, we'll do it. And I did it. And he liked it, so I got the spot. And there was another instance for a cable company where it was a TV commercial and a radio spot. So that was kind of a combined kind of a thing there.
Yeah, so what ads have you done?
I did some print ads, which was kind of weird because I went up against a friend of mine who's, really good looking guy. People think, oh, he's just so good looking. And I beat him out for it because I guess they wanted somebody that was not good looking. So I won. But that kind of stuff. And I did there's a few local, independent film projects like Kadzula. And another friend of mine wrote a movie called, I can't remember the name of it now. But he wrote it, so I got to do a little extra in that thing. And it's starring Burt Reynolds, actually. He got Burt Reynolds to be in it. Cool. And he shot it locally, so that was kind of cool. I'll probably wind up on the cutting room floor, but hey, awesome. It was fun. It was an experience.
Yeah.
Elbow Grease, that's the name of it. Okay, I feel better now.
Elbow Grease.
I remember the name. Yeah.
That's very interesting.
So that kind of stuff. But mostly theater. I like the stage mostly because you get that immediate reaction.
What about the stage? Except immediate reaction? Like, what else has it in your heart forever?
I don't know. I think it's I think anybody who does any kind of theater, they have a bit of I don't want to say narcissism. I don't want to say that, but it kind of is. It's kind of like that. We like attention, and at the same time we're insecure, and at the same time we want approval. But it's more than that. It's just something that is just in you. It's like the very lifeblood of you. And so when you get on stage, there's an energy that is there automatically. You just feel it just from being there. And then when you do a part and the people get the reaction that you're aiming for, whether it be laughter or whether it be silence and thought provoking, and whether it be the crying their eyes out because of such a strong dramatic performance, it's like I don't know. I can't describe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. So you do have a full-time job. What do you do?
I do. I work at a place and I operate a thing called a press brake machine. Basically, I'm a blue-collar worker who they let on stage every now and then. But, it pays bills. I've been there 20 years. It's a good job. I'm very fortunate to have it. You got all the benefits. So it's almost like I have my cake and eat it too. I'm able to do what I love to do with the acting, but I don't have to worry about depending on getting a job doing that to make my living. I have a regular job that pays the bills and gives me insurance and 401k, and at night I get to go play on stage.
Right. So the scheduling works out.
Right. Scheduling does work out. I'm very fortunate for that too.
Yeah. All right, so we're getting close to the good 25 minutes you promised me. Just 2 more questions.
Okay.
What advice would you give to me or aspiring young actors, my audience, to help them reach their goals in theater or anything in general?
Well, I'll tell you what I wish people would have told me, and I wish I would have done. I would say, pursue it, learn, absorb everything you possibly can from your directors and your choreographers. And when you get out of high school, go to college and study it, pursue it with all your heart. Don't get distracted, and don't be afraid. Go out of your comfort zone. Take the voice lessons, take the dance lessons, take the diction lessons, the acting lessons. Audition every chance you get just for the experience. And like I said, don't be afraid and go and experience the world. Don't stay in your hometown. Get out, go to another state, go to another part of the country and just learn. Yeah, but definitely get the education, get that behind you.
So you think that's important?
I really do. Because not only are you getting the education, you're also getting connections and advice and people that have been there, done that can tell you from their experiences, in the professional realm. And they can also tell you other aspects of it as far as, let's say the business aspect and what's expected. Because stage acting is definitely different from film acting. So depending on what you want to get into or both, you had to learn both.
Right.
Because like I say, film acting is definitely different than stage acting.
So what do you think is the biggest difference between film and stage?
Stage acting is, what they say, you had to speak like you're talking to the person in the very back of the audience. So you had to project, you had to be bigger than life and over the top. Whereas film, that camera's like right on your face, and so you had to be a little more subtle. Those little nuances, you can't get the big wide eyes because you're so surprised. It's got to be more subtle than that. It's got to be just a look, just your eye movement or a little smirk or smile or, it's everything on stage, but it's toned down so much. And that's something that, if you do a lot of stage work, that's kind of hard to do. Well, for me it is.
Yeah. So that was a bit of a challenge to do film and have it more toned down, whereas on stage.
Absolutely, and still learning it. Went a lot of auditions where I look back and I think, well, I know exactly why I didn't get that, because I was thinking I was on stage where I should have been thinking I was just on film. So
yeah. So what advice would you give to the parents of these young actors?
Oh, I would say love them, support them, encourage them, push them to go further, but don't push them down. Don't be that stage mom. If they want to pursue acting, let them do it because it's what they want to do, not because it's something you want to live vicariously through them.
Right.
And that's and encourage them and support them and help them and love them and give them money.
Give them money. And, that works.
Yeah. Yes, it does. And
hear that, parents? Give your kids money.
Let them. Exactly. Give the kids. I'm not a parent, so I can say that.
Yeah.
So I'm great at giving parents advice. I know exactly what to say.
Yes.
I grew up without my parents. I'm not trying to bring everything down, but I was very young when I lost my parents. So, what I wish people would have been there, would have done, and they did, was the encouragement,
Right.
Just the love and support behind them. Let them know that, hey, they got a foundation no matter what. And if they feel like they fell flat on the face, and pick them up, dust them off and help them on their way.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of parents that do that exact thing. Your parents are great
they
parents.
Do.
And proud to call them a friend of mine.
Yes. Brian, been around in community theaters, currently in Into the Woods at, you said, the Foothills Playhouse?
Yeah, Foothills Playhouse in Easley, South Carolina.
Yeah. So if anybody needed you to help them out with theater or anything, where can they find you?
You can find me at Facebook. Go to Facebook. They can find me. You can call me if you want to. I have an agent, George Carrell, through Millie Lewis. You can call them. Stage stuff. Look me up on Facebook and send me a message.
Yes, that's Brian Coker, everybody.
Brian C. Coker. That C is very important.
C. Coker. Well, thank you, Brian, for your time and your consideration.
Thank you.